Time is 10 a.m. and this is WKYT Midmorning. A car slams into a Lexington business as the driver tries to flee from police.
Two armed robberies early this morning, and they could have been committed by the same person.
And Clinton talks taxes while Trump shakes up his presidential campaign team.
This is WKYT Midmorning.
Well, good morning and welcome in. It is Wednesday, August 17th, the middle of this week. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Barbara Bailey. Those of us who'd been saying, you know, it's raining all around us, we're not getting hit. Well, Lexington today has been slammed this morning.
Now's your chance, right? And it looks like more of those rounds of showers and storms will be rolling through. Let's check in with meteorologist Micah Harris.
Yeah, half of the viewing area at this moment seeing good amounts of rain, and it's just nonstop, one after another. But down south, east, and southeast, you're not seeing any rain. And you haven't really this morning, but you know what? You do have some rain on the way. Most of this is going to stay right there where it is, but I do expect some showers, if you remember the thunder, later on today to make their way into the south and southeast. You look back toward western Kentucky, and it just continues to develop. Listen, it's going to be a long day with the showers and thunderstorms. Some of us won't get out of the 70s. Especially central, north, and western zones. But as you get down southeast, we'll be there in the low to mid 80s. So it all depends on where you are, but we'll call it roughly 80 degrees. More storms later on this afternoon. It's on and off all day. What about the next couple of days? I'm going to show you that. It's lesser chance of rain. And then the big front moves in this weekend. And I'll show you when that cooler air arrives coming up in a few minutes.
It's going to be welcome. We'll see you in a bit. Thank you.
Well, first, this mid-morning, a man faces charges after crashing into a Lexington business shortly after police tried to talk with him.
It happened in the Hamburg area where police spotted a man parked on the sidewalk along Sir Barton Way. And they attempted to talk to him, but they say that's when he tried to flee. Police say the man started driving erratically on the wrong side of Sir Barton Way between Winchester Road and Manowar Boulevard. They didn't chase him. They did follow until he crashed into an office building. They had to break through the driver's side window to remove him from the vehicle. He was then taken to the hospital to be checked out. And police are trying to determine if there's any connection between some overnight robberies at two Lexington gas stations. The description of the suspect in both is similar.
Now, the first robbery was at a Shell station near New Circle in Russell Cave shortly after 11 o'clock last night. Witnesses told police that a man in a black hoodie with something red over his face had a handgun and stole money before running out of the store and getting into the passenger seat of a gold-colored car. A couple of hours after that, police said someone went into the speedway on Paris Pike near the interstate, again wearing a black hoodie with a red bandana over his face and brandishing a handgun. In this case, police said the man got money and ran from the store, but was not seen getting into a car.
A judge will hear closing arguments at a Lexington murder trial this morning. Paris Charles is charged with the 2014 murder of his girlfriend Goldia Massey. Police say some of Massey's body parts were found in the Kentucky River a few weeks after her disappearance. In addition to murder, Charles is charged with abuse of a corpse. A trio of lawsuits now filed against Lexington Catholic High School following harassment and discrimination allegations by three former students. Those allegations first surfaced in April, but civil rights attorney Amos Jones, who is representing the former students, says nothing was done. The lawsuits filed in Fayette Circuit Court outlined alleged discrimination that attorneys say has gone on for years at the school. The lawsuits also claim that the school officials did not do enough when they were told about the allegations. A representative from the school says they are aware of the lawsuit, but their policy is not to comment on legal matters. Today, Hillary Clinton is talking about tax fairness at a stop up in Ohio. And this morning, a big shakeup in Donald Trump's campaign team.
The Republican nominee is reportedly bringing in Breitbart News' Stephen Bannon as CEO and promoting well-known pollster Kellyanne Conway to campaign manager. The changes come as Trump's poll numbers are sliding in several battleground states. Hannah Daniels has the latest on the presidential race.
Donald Trump will receive his first classified intelligence briefing in New York later today. But last night in Wisconsin, the GOP nominee focused on law enforcement and race relations, accusing Hillary Clinton of bigotry and pandering to communities of color.
Those peddling the narrative of cops as a racist force in our society, a narrative supported with a nod by my opponent, shared directly in the responsibility for the unrest in Milwaukee and many other places within our country.
The Republican presidential nominee spoke just miles from Milwaukee, a city rocked by violent protests after a fatal police shooting over the weekend. He vowed to restore law and order under a Trump presidency.
The problem in our poorest communities is not that there are too many police. The problem is that there are not enough police.
In Wisconsin, the latest poll from Marquette Law School shows Trump trailing by 15 points against Clinton among likely voters. Despite rising poll numbers in several key battleground states, Hillary Clinton's email scandal continues to cast a shadow over her campaign. Yesterday, the State Department agreed to hand over undisclosed emails on her private server to a conservative watchdog group, hours after Congress received classified FBI documents related to the investigation. While Clinton did not comment on the move, the campaign says they prefer the report to be released to the public and not partisan lawmakers. Anna Daniels, CBS News.
Clinton campaign spokeswoman Jennifer Palmieri released a statement overnight on Trump's comments saying, quote, "With each passing Trump attack, it becomes clearer that his strategy is just to say about Hillary Clinton what's true of himself. Now he's accusing her of bigoted remarks. We think the American people will know which candidate is guilty of the charge."
U.S. Senator Rand Paul has spent the past several weeks campaigning in the upcoming Senate race, but the Republican from Kentucky will take a break from the campaign trail today and practice his baseball skills here in Lexington. That's a few minutes away. Senator Paul is joining the Lexington Legends baseball team in batting practice this morning. That practice set to start at 10:45 over at Whitaker Bank Ballpark. Paul will then stick around for the Legends game at 12:15. He'll be throwing out the ceremonial first pitch there. Senator Paul is battling Lexington Mayor Jim Gray for Kentucky's U.S. Senate seat in the upcoming November election. And today, Gray is planning to celebrate the addition of Lexington's Charles Young Center to the National Register of Historic Places. That center, located on East 3rd Street, it has played an important role in the East End community for decades.
82,000 people in Southern California mountain communities have been told to evacuate because of a wildfire. Firefighters say an 8-square-mile fire is threatening the town of Wrightwood. They say it's showing no signs of slowing down. The fire has also shut down a stretch of Interstate 15, which is the main route between Southern California and Las Vegas. Investigators say a separate fire that destroyed nearly 200 buildings in Northern California was set on purpose. Police have made an arrest in that case. A crew of 20 firefighters will return to Kentucky today after battling an Idaho forest fire for 2 weeks. They're expected to arrive back in London at 9 this morning. They were expected back at that time. They'll be at the Southern Area Incident Support Cache next to the airport.
Authorities in Louisiana are assessing the damage from deadly flooding there, which has now killed 11 people. And the water is expected to keep rising in some parts of the state, putting more homes in danger. The deadly floods have forced thousands of evacuations and triggered the largest disaster response in the U.S. since Hurricane Sandy. Taylor Swift is doing her part to help with the flood relief in Louisiana. The pop superstar is planning to donate $1 million to help the thousands of flood victims who lost everything in the historic flooding. Swift has told the Associated Press that Louisiana residents graciously welcomed her when she kicked off her U.S. dates of her 1989 world tour in the state last year. The 89 tour was last year, not 89.
That's right, but certainly a very generous way to say thank you.
No doubt.
Well, keep it here this mid-morning. We'll take you to Pennsylvania, where some superheroes made a surprise appearance, all for the sake of the kids.
And a Hollywood actress is taking her talents to Broadway. You'll hear about that. It's coming up.
Strong thunderstorm out ahead of most of the rain, and that's rolling down the Mountain Parkway and also I-64. We're going to go over that, and I'll show you what's back behind that because it doesn't look good the rest of the day. We'll have that coming up next.
Now, your zone-by-zone forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
Boy, we had some pretty good rain this morning in many locations, especially central, north, and western zones, now stretching over into northeastern areas. But south and southeast, you guys still have not picked up any rain. It's going to take a while, too, because the heaviest rain is still racing eastbound. West Liberty, you're going to be next in line coming out of Frenchburg. If you have any friends there, call them, ask them how heavy that rain is. Some pretty heavy rain that rolled on through 460 heading your direction. More off into Campton, about to roll right in downtown Campton if you're not seeing it already. And it's sliding eastbound, so Mountain Parkway. Yeah, that's a sloppy go at it. Early this morning, Sandy Hook, you're going to be next in line coming out of Moorhead. And showers back behind that. So the strongest storms right now in eastern Kentucky. Back behind that, yeah, you're still looking at scattered showers. Not so much thunderstorms as of right now, but still, there's rain outside. It's just not going to look good. Bluegrass north and westbound the next several hours. Wettest summer on record, 23.21 inches. So far this summer, we're at 14 inches, so we're still a little off, roughly 10 inches away. But still, we are above normal, normal being roughly 10.5 inches. So we're above normal, but not even close to the record. We'll put it that way. We have had rain the past several weeks, that is for sure. The big picture here is the front's still over us. It's not moving very rapidly. I do expect it to just kind of fade away as we go through the day and off into the night. It'll still give us on and off showers and thunderstorms. Possible flooding being our main issue. We have to be watching out for that as we head off into the next several hours because we still have some developing along this front back toward western Kentucky, and that will just slide into our neck of the woods. Next couple of days, not great chances, but still have a couple of rumbles of thunder to go through on Thursday and Friday. Most stay dry on those 2 days. Still can't rule out a few rumbles here and there. But this weekend, yeah, a few rumbles there too as we're talking about storms in the forecast with a front rolling on through. 83 on Saturday, but that front pushes through on Sunday off into Monday. And once that happens, look at my 7-day forecast. Check this out on the screen if you're not looking right now. 79 degrees on Monday, 77 on Tuesday. This is a nice brand of air sliding on in here. It's a nice little early taste of fall. I had somebody ask me the other day, when do temperatures typically start to tank for summer off into fall? Typically, it's late August into early September, and that's what we're seeing right now as we're starting to get into mid and late August, start to see those temperatures slowly drop, and then they'll rise back up, and then you'll get another cold front. It's going to be that way the next several weeks until we actually get into that fall pattern. Yeah. But I'm okay with that. I think a lot of
it would be nice if it just were a clean cut, but it's never like that.
No. I don't know.
It teases you a little bit, then it goes the other way.
I think that's what's nice about the fall, though. You get some variation and usually a lot of sunshine.
Beautiful in Kentucky. Well, a few superheroes teamed up for their most important mission of the year, putting smiles on kids' faces.
The 4 window washers transformed into Batman, Captain America, Spider-Man, and Superman. And then they rappelled down the side of Penn State Children's Hospital, surprising the young patients there. This is the 3rd year in a row that they visited the hospital. Hospital employees say it really does brighten up the day for kids, and it is definitely something they'll be talking about for a long, long time. That's fun.
And I think the hospital staff loves it just as much. That's a great thing
to do. The kids will remember that. Yeah.
Well, a movie star makes a full circle to her past, and the Pirate of the Caribbean settles his contentious divorce.
Daniel Nottingham has your eye on entertainment.
Johnny Depp settled his headline-grabbing divorce. His wife Amber Heard withdrew allegations that the actor had physically abused her and dropped her petition for a restraining order. The couple agreed to resolve the divorce privately and said in a statement the relationship had been volatile but bound by love. Diane Lane is taking a break from Hollywood for the bright lights of Broadway. The actress plays a Russian landowner in Anton Chekhov's classic The Cherry Orchard. Lane made her Broadway debut as a child actor in the 1977 revival of the same play and says it helps to have that history.
I feel a little bit like I'm cheating because I got to peek behind the curtain already. But I was a child, and in some ways that really serves.
The Cherry Orchard opens in October for a limited engagement. An epic story of betrayal and redemption returns to the big screen.
Should have stayed away.
You should have killed me.
I will.
Jack Houston stars in Ben-Hur as the prince falsely accused of treason. The cast gathered on the red carpet for the Los Angeles premiere.
Rather than being a revenge story, it's a story with a message of hope and love and forgiveness.
Ben-Hur opens Friday, more than a half-century after the Charlton Heston version won 11 Academy Awards. And that's your Eye on Entertainment. Danielle Nottingham, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Okay, hope you'll keep it right here. Do your children or grandchildren get home before you do?
We're talking about after-school safety next on WKYT.
Reminder that tonight's Powerball jackpot is $94 million, and Friday's Mega Millions jackpot is now $61 million. Welcome back. It's mid-morning on WKYT, and it is also back to school time here in the Bluegrass. That means that a lot of kids are getting off of their buses before their parents get home.
Jerry Coy with Bates Security is here with some important safety tips to keep in mind. And we welcome you. Glad to have you now.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate it. What are the kinds of things you should talk to children about when they're going to be at home alone?
I think the most important thing is that the kids go straight home once they get off the school bus or whatever. It's very important that they immediately go straight into the house, lock the doors, and then one of the things with our clients that have security systems, the kids need to know how to go ahead and disarm that system once they come in and then arm it back up while they're at home.
There's also the option of remote devices to do that. Tell us about that.
Yeah, remote devices with technology today has come a long way in our industry. Literally, smartphones become a portable keypad wherever the parents are. When the kids actually come in and disarm the system, mom and dad can get a text notification knowing that they have come in. And then one of the things that is new and coming on very strong is we also have remote video services today.
I was going to ask about that. How many parents these days are doing that? They can actually see what the kids are up to, but more importantly, see that there's no intrusion or something there.
Exactly. Again, they can get the text notifications of when the system is turned off or on by their child, but more importantly, they can actually pull up on their phone and see a live image and see actually what's going on in the home. A lot of our clients really like that for their pets as well, in addition to their kids.
Well, I hadn't thought about that part, but it would work for the pets,
You
too.
might discover who broke the lamp, though, right?
Do your clients tell us that because of this, that they have a greater sense of security? Do the kids enjoy it more and feel safer at home?
Absolutely. You know, a couple of other safety tips that we would like to put out there is with social media today, it's very important that parents know what's going on with their kids with social media. They need to make sure that the privacy settings are set. They need to make sure what their daily posts are, because that in itself has become a huge issue.
Too much information.
There's too much out there.
If people are interested, I'm sure that you would enjoy, and any professional in this business would enjoy, sitting down, kind of talking through what options are available for securing the home.
That is absolutely correct. I mean, we take a very consultative approach with each individual potential new client that we meet with. We literally can invite them to our office on Custer Drive, as we have a lot of this stuff that we can actually demo for them there as well. And then obviously with the technology we have between our iPhones and our iPads, we can do that in the home as well.
Very good. BatesSecurity.com, and it's 244-4000. Thank you.
We appreciate you coming in.
Thanks.
All right, good information.
Well, keep it right here this mid-morning.
Going to check in with the Mr. Food Test Kitchen next and see what's cooking up here in the middle of the week. Coming up in just a little while, WKYT News at noon. Hope you'll join us. We'll hear about a program in Frankfort where the sheriff's office is using Narcan to help battle drug overdoses.
An update on a pair of gas station armed robberies possibly done by the same man.
And we'll hear more about the campaign staff shakeups by Donald Trump as he tries to make up ground on Hillary Clinton.
News, weather, and sports ahead at noon on WKYT. Well, they're working with ruby red tomatoes in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
Stuffed with mild white fish and vegetables, they're perfect for both a potluck picnic or maybe even a light summer supper.
I love this time of year, since our markets and backyard gardens are bursting with so much fresh produce that we often find ourselves looking for new ways to use it up. Like zucchini, we can shred it and make zucchini bread to serve all summer long, or toss it in our warm weather salads. And if ruby red tomatoes are piled high on your counter, here's an idea. Stuff them with a throw-together seafood salad that's cool and refreshing. To make it, all we do is bake a few white flesh fish fillets, let them cool, and break them up into chunks. Here I'm using U.S. farm-raised catfish since it's super mild, super fresh tasting, and it holds its shape when it's chunked. Now we toss this with a bit of mayo, some chopped celery, scallions, pickle relish, a squeeze of lemon, and a bit of salt and pepper. When you stuff this into tomatoes and bring it to a potluck picnic or make it the star of a light summer supper, you can't go wrong. To get the recipe for dinner tonight, all you have to do is go to our website and look for summer stuffed tomatoes. I know your taste buds will be glad you did. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found fresh from the farm way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
There you go, Micah. Some tomatoes and fish and whatnot.
All for me, right?
You'd love that.
Certainly.
Yeah,
it's you.
It's me. It's all me. Okay, let's talk about the weather. Over toward the eastern zones, we have pretty heavy downpours with these thunderstorms rolling on through. Those are two strong cells right there. West Liberty heads up and Sandy Hook heads up. Also, Johnson County, you're going to be next in line. Then we look back toward the west, guys, and we have more storms on the way later
All
on.
right, lining up.
On the runway. All right. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you back here for WKYT News at noon.